Welcome to the Tactics Talk for Forest away, the big one that we've all either been dreading or waiting for at the start of the season. It is now a dreading one because we are relegated and they're nearly getting Champions League. Sam, what's your take on this game? Because again, I'll be there, you won't be there, but it's a game that I think most fans will still want to watch just for the derby.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for the first 10 minutes anyway, see how it goes. But
that's a straight good start to being negative, isn't it?
Well, no, you know what I mean. We could be 3-0 down. It's making a joke, mate. A big game for them. Obviously, nothing to play for us other than pride.
So it's a big game for them.
It is a big game for Forest.
You're all right, yeah.
So
sounds like Leeds last year.
They've got a lot to play for. We literally don't have anything other to play for than pride. So I guess we'll kind of see how it goes. Hopefully the players know that it does mean something to the fans a little bit. I feel bad for you going because they're obviously going to rip you to shreds for the whole 90 minutes. Rightly so. We'd be doing the same if it was the other way around.
Yeah.
So, you know.
No, fair enough. Door on tour is the first one in the door. It says up the Forest. Yeah, mate. Give us your score predictions and we'll get them in a bit later on. But good luck on Sunday. You probably don't need it, unlike us, but it is what it is. David Fallow says, I would honestly take losing every game now as long as Jamie gets his 200th goal. What's your thoughts on that? I'd take a loss in every game unless as long as we beat Forest, but that's just
the other 2 games of the season.
Then.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice for Vardy to get 200 goals. I'm sure he'll be wanting to do it. I'm sure he'll get every opportunity. I mean, he had the opportunity of his penalty. We obviously would have got his 200th last weekend from it.
Took a free kick as well.
Yeah, so I'm sure it will come. I'm sure at least he'll have a nice little milestone to hit before he leaves the club. I'm sure the club will probably push in every direction on the pitch, you know, when we get an opportunity like a penalty or free kick or whatever to give Vardy that goal. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll get it regardless of how the results go. It's about the only thing to play for this season now. It's a bit of a goodbye to probably the best, well, not probably, definitely the best ever Leicester City player.
Yep, Dawn Tour says 4-1. Do you mean to you or to us?
I think he's being generous, giving us a goal.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Or unless they're giving them a goal, I don't know.
I think with the winky face, I think he knows 4-1's going to.
Right, if it's 4-1 and Vardy scores, I won't, as much as it'd be horrible to be there, I'll take it. Right, let's get into the teams then. We've heard on the press conference that Buonlotti's back in. I think the other players that were out are still out, unfortunately. But goalkeeper, we already know that Hermanson is out. Yeah. Are you picking Danny Ward to play, or are you happy to see Stolicic?
Obviously, it's Stolicic.
What's wrong? Danny Ward. Well, you never know. He's leaving, so you might get a goodbye hurrah as well.
God, he doesn't need a hurrah. He needs to
shoot him.
Here's the red carpet and wax to go. Yeah, Stolicic in goal. Hopefully, number 1 for next year. Hermanson, I'm kind of hoping we sell in a way that I think we need to rebuild. I don't think we need Stolicic and Hermanson for the championship. And obviously, the way Hermanson did play at the start of the year, I'm sure. I mean, we've seen players like Brentford quite linked with him. So, if we can get a decent bit of money for him, start putting that back into the rebuild funds, you know, because there's a lot of players we do need to sell. There's a lot of dead wood, a lot of players are on too many wages, you know, your Dakas, your Samaris, Winks, Vestergaard, you know, there's a big list that I'm sure the club are considering that do need to be sold. We need a massive rebuild in the summer break. So yeah, Stolicic in goal, hopefully. I mean, if Hermanson's still here next season,
I'd still want Stolicic.
You got contention. I think obviously the last 2 wins, Stolicic in goal for both of them. Obviously, they're quite lucky that the second win falls against Southampton because, you know, if we weren't going to beat them, it's a little bit on the embarrassing side. But it's what it is, and you know, you got a clean sheet.
Go on then, wing backs or full backs, however you want to do it. I think we've got a full fit back line at the moment. So
I mean, my logic going into this game is to start playing players that are going to be either A, in the shop window, or B, here for next year that we haven't really seen. So you start playing players that could do a bit of game time, but could also you could be on the shop window. So I think we're going to mix it a little bit. So for me, I think left back, I'd play Christiansen. I wouldn't risk playing Thomas because I think he's going to be a next year. I mean, again, it's the same thing though. Is would Christiansen want to play? Would you want to play him and he get injured? Maybe not, but if we're trying to put someone like him in the shop window, I think he needs to have a couple of decent performances to end the season on.
This is the question where I'm saying that, yes, in your mind, from what you've said before, this game isn't important and we don't care what we do with it in the way of who we play. But if there was any chance in us trying and wanting to get a result against Forest at the moment, surely you'd probably prefer to play Luke Thomas, who gives a bit more fire and
not to
desire.
Me, I don't care if we beat Forest or not, to be honest with you. That some people might. I don't care. We're already relegated. Our season's done.
So you're just picking players for the sake of it?
Well, if we could win 5-6, 7-0 against Forest on Saturday, and it doesn't mean anything to us, other than potentially stopping them getting Champions League football. They're probably still going to get European football, especially now that Man U and Spurs are in the final of the Conference League. I'm sure that gives the next spot down to the team in the Premier League for European football. So I'm pretty sure they're probably guaranteed to be playing Europe next season unless they do a massive cock up in some way, shape or form. So for me, even if we win 5-6, 7-0, which obviously we're not going to, we're still relegated and it doesn't mean anything to us. Again, apart from a bit of pride, but the pride is majoritarily gone because we've already been relegated with 6 games to go. So
that's fair enough.
Right back, nothing to play for me. Right back, probably Justin. Again, I think he probably want to be here next year. Koulibaly the same, but I don't know. Justin probably gonna be in that team again next year, so I'd play him still.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll move into mine then, and I want to pick a team that I want us to try and play to win the game. As much as, like you said, it probably doesn't mean anything other than stopping them getting Champions League. Luke Thomas, straight in there. I think since he's been back in, he's barely put a foot wrong in a way, in my opinion. So he comes back in, and then right back, Koulibaly. I just want to see him play. There's a reason why he joined the club in the first place. Is it because of impact? I don't know, but there's a reason he signed for us over other clubs. Yes, again, it was a tiny fee, but. Maybe it was a wage, but
not maybe, definitely. I don't even know the figures, but I can guarantee you, if anyone else was sniffing around him, we would have offered probably 5-10 grand a week more. Maybe and that's why he's here. That's the same with a lot of players. It's the same with Samari. It's the same with Daka. We enticed him to come to Leicester for the wage, really. Winks, Cody. I mean, Winks and Cody want almost 200 grand a week. Mate. It's laughable the fact that they're not good enough for the Premier League, really.
I think I just want to see Koulibaly play. I think I've only seen him really playing two games for enough time to see he was probably worth something in the game. So for me, stick him in there. What's he going to do as bad as Justin or as good as Justin?
But surely that defeats your objective to win the game. If you're going out there saying you want to win the game, why play someone that hasn't played in 3 months?
Because I'd rather him play than someone like JJ, who can really
been fairly consistent. He's not been the issue at the back in the past 3 months.
In the past 3 months, no, but I don't think I don't think he's the quality we need.
But your logic doesn't make sense.
I'm not picking the whole team who I think's got the fight. Okay, I'm just saying I'm picking.
If you need to go out there to win, why play Koulibaly?
Because I think the skill set he's got in the fact of like the pace, the strength.
I've not seen him do shit, to be honest.
Well, from what I've seen over the time he's played over the last 2 or 3 games, he actually has been given chance on the pitch. I know he won't start because he doesn't even get a scene on the bench.
Because he's a £1.5 million player. He's not that good.
Well,
he was a panic buy to sign someone.
Maybe so.
He's not that good of a player. He was playing for.
But I'd still like to see him come in. If he's going to be I would say he's probably near enough the first choice.
No.
Player in next season.
So long as Justin's here, he will not be anywhere near the first team because Justin is a million times better player than him.
In the Championship.
This year alone, the games I saw Koulibaly.
I don't think JJ is that good anymore.
He had a rough start to the season, but he has not been the issue. He was the issue one of the issues at the start of the season. Since we signed Koulibaly, it's been no contention other than maybe Pereira to fill in that spot a little bit, but he's been injured, so that's just my opinion anyway. I don't think Koulibaly deserves a spot because I don't think Justin's been bad enough. I think if you asked me that 4 months ago, I would have said yeah, but he's worth £1.5 million from a struggling French side. It's not, or Italian side. I can't remember where he came from, but they were doing pretty pants.
Yeah.
So.
David Fallows also says, isn't Nelson back now from his loan? I don't know, but either way. Oh, yeah, it could be actually, because they've just... Yes, he is. I personally think he'd be a good first choicer next year, in my opinion. But no, Phil's just mentioned that he won't be enough 25-man squad for this season, so there's no point even asking about it in a way. But yes, good to know that he's back at the club. Mike Rock says we're going to get trounced and laughed out of the City ground by the Florists.
Probably.
Maybe so. Maybe not.
Probably.
Maybe not.
Probably.
Maybe not.
Probably.
Brian says Monga got to play is rapid, and from what I've seen, he's a great player. Again, we'll move on to him a bit later, but we'll get into the defenders because I think there's a lot to talk about all the youngsters at the moment in the club. Sam, who are you picking as your two centre-backs? And don't say I have a bad bunch.
Well, if I had to pick out the bad bunch we've got, I don't know, to be honest with you. Again, I'm probably trying to think of who's going to be here. I mean, if you ask me for my honest opinion, I would sell virtually all of them in the summer. I would try and get rid of every single one of them because they're all bad. They have been the massive reason, the centre-backs, the pairings. I think we've tried every combination possible this season, and none of it's worked. I think we've tried 2 or 3, different players, different positions, left, right, a little bit higher at the pitch, a little bit behind. Nothing's worked. So for me personally, I'd say Okoli you'd keep. So I'm going to put him in my team. I'd say he probably would look okay in the Championship. But as far as the other ones go, Vestergaard,
I might as well put Okoli, I agree with you.
You got Vestergaard, Cody, Fies, all of them can go. I don't know if there's anyone else I'm missing. Obviously, said Nelson potentially for next season. But the other centre backs, I'm not so convinced of.
I would say I think I'd be like very 99% sure that it's probably going to be Faes.
But why,
as one of them.
He's leaving.
I know.
To leave.
I know, but we keep
he's
seeing
it. That again, I don't want him in the team. He's rubbish. I think he's probably one of the worst centre backs I've ever seen, just attitude wise alone. I don't get his mentality. You see all the time on the
better than Wazaleski.
Are you joking? Obviously, he's not. Like I said, I've not seen a player. Wazaleski actually played with passion. Fies would lose the ball.
Any Polish
give away a penalty.
Any Polish people have any sort of passion, God.
Fies would give the ball away and he'd blame anyone else. So
Go on, who's your other centre back?
I don't know, Cody. Put him in. Why not? Again, like I said, I don't think. I struggle to see who you play. But 3 games left of the season, already relegated. So who cares at this point? Again, we just need a massive refresh in that back line. Like I said, Cody, fine, he can stay for next season, but the rest, as soon as the window's open, they can be kicked out the door immediately.
See, I'm not picking Vestergaard because I can't pick him because he's not doing anything.
The Mercury reporting right now that Vestergaard's contract could be cancelled.
Oh. There you go.
Good.
Breaking news on the tactics door.
The club actually did something good for once.
Is apparently Vestergaard's contract can be cancelled.
Wow, the club actually did something right for once. Give it. I hope
could
it can
be cancelled. If
not, you've got a retired player.
Maybe
playing
so.
in the
Maybe
club
so.
on £80 a week still in the Championship.
So, who's my other centre back? Do you know what? Just for the bants, I'm picking Faes. I'm not playing Cody. I think Cody's bag of shit.
So it's Fies.
Maybe,
Fies is worse.
yes, he is. But he's got a bit of aggression into him.
In the wrong way.
It might be in the wrong way. Might be
he's aggressive because he's a bull in the
I'm picking a team.
Loses the ball.
I'm picking a team that might not be good, but it has some aggression in them.
No, you're picking a team that is just what you want to see. And for me, Fides and Koulibaly are just two players that are like that. That right side is begging for us to get bent over backwards and have 3 or 4 goals.
Callum Hudson-Odoi is not there, mate, so you can't
Doesn't
do it.
matter, mate. I think I could put my little sister there, and she'd probably score a goal against this team.
Well, there you go. Go on then, Sam. Midfielders.
Yeah, I mean,
You're picking lovely Simari, aren't you?
No. Again, the midfielders. We know it's not going to be Winks because obviously he's fallen out with Ruud. Not the only player to do that. Same with Vestergaard.
You want to watch the Drugs game comes on?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not going to be Samari either because I think Ruud's alluded to that he's fallen out with him as well, pretty much saying, yeah, he's a bad player.
I honestly could see
Which,
Skip
you know,
playing in
it's
this
probably
game.
one of the few things I agree with Ruud, that, yeah, Samari is a bad player.
I could see Skip being in this.
I mean, yeah, probably. So Skip can be one of the players that need to think about who the other one's going to be. Skip, again, you know, you probably look at it overall and think, why did we sign him? Probably a bit of a waste of money, especially considering it cost 20 million and you've got the amount of midfielders that we have. And he's only really getting a look in because Winks has been dropped because he's fallen out of Ruud. Samari's been dropped because Ruud doesn't think he's a good player, which I agree with. And Didi is probably the other central midfielder that you play, but has been injured and, you know, not been that good at times. Majority of the time. Golding, who got a little bit of a cameo appearance, but that's the first time we've seen him at all this season. So I guess logically it'll be Ndidi based on what we can go with. Not the best choice in my decision, but again, probably one to put in the shop window because I imagine we'll be looking to try and get rid of him in summer.
Yep. Well, I'm putting Simari in.
Of course.
Because I think him and Ndidi kind of work well. So.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I agree with Jay. They just got relegated, but they work well.
It is what it is. I'd rather see Samari over Skip. Skip is literally.
You'd rather see him because he's got you on payroll to give him kisses every now and then.
It's not. Skip is dross, so I'm glad he's gone. Hopefully. Right. Attacking midfielders, wingers, and whatnot. Go on.
Yeah. Again, left winger probably Mavididi.
Can't.
Okay, not Mavididi. Oh,
anyone else?
I don't even know.
Exactly. This is the point.
Okay, I'm not playing with wingers then. I'll put 2 attacking mids in there. Let's do El Canus and Buonanotte. As my no, don't put Buonanotte in. I changed my mind. He's going in 3 games as well because he's only on loan. Put Munga, sure, right forward, right winger.
Yeah, this guy's going to be.
Yeah, the Australian guy. He's back in the team. We know who it is. Munga, right winger for me, right forward, however you want to position him. And left side, Bobby Reed's injured, is he not? Is he?
I think so.
I don't know. Is there any youth player you could play there that's like? I guess
Jake Evans.
No, because he's not a left winger. It would. Is Ayew injured?
No.
Then it's probably Ayew for me because Bobby Reed's injured as well, is he not?
I hate putting that name in there.
So again, Ayew, pretty good player for this season.
The bold.
Probably the most impactful player out of anyone. As much as really would disagree.
Man.
Yeah. Good player.
And then
I think should be captain next year.
Yeah. Okay. And then up front.
Obviously Patson Daka up front. No, it's obviously Jamie Vardy, isn't it?
Sure.
3 games left. Yeah, of course it is. He's got 3 games left with us. Play him. Let's get his 200th goal. See the last few games. Hopefully, at least if one player on that pitch would know what the game against Forest means to fans, it'll be Vardy. I don't think anyone else in that team would know how much of it, apart from maybe Monga. He probably would know because obviously he's from the area. Been playing in the academy, so yeah.
I will choose Monga as well. He can play more there. Left wing. Actually, no. I'll play El Canus, our best player of the season this year.
You chat so much shit. Best player of the season. Come off it.
Right, him in that midfield spot, and then
go if someone wants him. I don't know what the hype's about.
Thing is, I really don't know. We're stuck now. Like, why? When we didn't pick Mavididi, who was playing there? Was it Bobby Reed?
It was Ayew or Bobby Reed or I guess McAteer potentially.
He was playing on the right.
I don't know who was playing that. I don't think anyone realised. Pereira, is he back fit? I don't know.
No, he's
Pereira
not.
against the
No.
team?
He's out injured for the rest of the season.
God.
Christ, we've got
All these players
slim
out
bit-
injured as soon as we
slim
get relegated.
pickings, innit?
Isn't that so convenient? When we
Slim
get relegated, all the
pickings.
players want
Do you
to
know
be
what?
injured.
Screw it. Do you know
None of them
what?
wanna
Screw
play.
it. I'm going Jake Evans on the wing. I'd rather see him play than any
You have
of
to
them.
put Johnny Evans in or something.
I'd rather play any kind of Evans in over Bobby Reed or Are whoever it is. So screw it. Evans on the left wing, and Mr. Vardy up front.
Isn't that ironic though that a lot of players are now injured when we're relegated? What a bunch of pansies! They just don't want to play for the rest of the
You never know.
season.
They could just be injured.
They're not injured. Trust me.
Well,
they're not
Bonanotte
injured.
got injured at the Liverpool game because he had a concussion.
Yeah, that's different. I'm on about your Bobby Reed, your Pereira's.
I'm glad they're out.
You're glad that Pereira's out?
Oh, not Pereira. I'd
That's what
say
I'm saying, it's just convenient.
I'd
You shouldn't
say
be-
Bobby
you shouldn't
Reed.
be
I'm
glad,
happy
'cause
he's
they're
out.
here for next year. They're impact players, and they'll probably be the more impactful players of next season from the bench. They have been this year. As much as you and maybe other people don't like Ayew, he's probably the top 3 players for impact this year for us. He's done the most, at least under a half decent manager, Stevie Cooper, but under clueless, ruthless. No chance. As you can tell, I want Ruud to go as soon as possible. I don't know if you.
And as you can tell, I'm glad Cooper went as soon as he can.
Yeah.
There
Just gotta
you go.
relegate.
Right. Appreciate you coming on today. This was a very interesting show.
Well, it's just again, it's picking all of that team virtually for me, apart from Stolisic and Thomas. I would agree. Thomas for me does get into my team next year. If I look at that team, Stolisic, Christensen, Justin, and Coley. Everyone else they can just go. I don't want them. I don't care. El Canus can go. Skip and Diddy go. I don't want any of them. Ayew go. Just rebuild. We actually need a rebuild. I don't want to take. I want to sell 80% of the players we've got. I think most people would agree that majority of the players are just toxic. They do what they want to do. They didn't want to play for Cooper. They got him sacked. They didn't want to play for Ruud. Obviously, we can't afford to sack him. Clearly. And now we're just relegated. These players don't want to play for Leicester. They're just here for the wages, so they can go. All of them can go. They're the only ones that can stay. The ones that actually want to be here. And I'm talking about your Fataous, your Mavridis a little bit because they're not on too much money, so and they could be fairly impactful in the Championship. As much as both of them, especially Mavridis had some blunders this year, but a lot of those players, I think it's time to go. I think we need to rebuild now.
Well, can you give me the most
5-0
positive?
Forest.
I said the most positive.
Okay.
The most positive
Forest.
score prediction you could give.
4-0 Forest.
I'm saying 3-1 Leicester. Deluded as I am, 3-1 Leicester. Give me £10 right now, and I'll win it. There you go.
You'll fucking lose it, mate.
There you go. Sorted.
Not beating Forest. They've got everything to play for. They've got
I
so
was
much
looking
to
for
play
his tenner.
Passing him a tenner.
There you go.
Why are you just giving him a tenner for what?
That's the bet.
Well, you just handed him a tenner for no reason.
You
What's the
gave
bet?
me it now. You gave me it now.
You didn't make a bet. You just gave him a tenner.
Right, there you go, guys. I will catch you all on the next show. Make sure to check out Jamie's show on Sunday before the game.
With a
Pre-match.
film show Monday when he's crying about the game.
Yeah. Well, he could be crying, or he could be saying.
Really, shut up. Don't be optimistic. We're not going to.
Don't be optimistic.
He could be on Monday night having an absolute party.
A party? We've been fucking relegated. What party is there to have?
You never know. Right.
End
Appreciate
it.
you coming
End
on,
it.
and we'll catch you all on the
Season's
next show.
done.
See you in a bit. Adios.